Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We're live now. How's it, everybody? What's going on? I'm excited today to bring you another Redeem. Finally, a long Redeem that's been out there for a minute. We had to kind of postpone and then reconvene and come together and stuff. And then, of course, the kind gentleman that Turnip is, he said, "Oh, why don't you let a few of the other guys go first or gals and come on through?" But then all of a sudden they did their stream, and then there was a few songs that was on his playlist that was on their stream, and they had to go back and fix things and so on and so forth. But ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Turnip. Turnip, say, how's it?
How's it?
So Turnip is here with me to do the Redeem session, nice and early, so I know the folks in the UK who just popped in saying, "Oh, a UK-friendly stream." Yes, that's because he and that part of the world. And so, and last night I had that little thing I went to and woke up this morning with not much of a hangover. And so this is when we're doing it. So I'm excited to do that. So let me see. I'm going to turn this little music down here, turn up my volume, turn this down here. I'm going to bring up the playlist. There we go. Here's
check you got it right. I've sent you again just in case.
The playlist. I have it right here. Let's see. Does that look about right?
Also, it stopped really quick, so don't click yet. All right. Yeah, that looks right.
Okay, fantabulous. So everybody, that was Turnip that you heard in the background. So Turnip's here with us, and we're going to be doing his playlist. I'm really excited to have him here. Also, remember, Turnip is that super stealthy mod, you know, that we've had here, keeping an eye, making sure the old man doesn't go off the rails, or protect the old man at all costs. So he is one of our mods as well. So Turnip, we're going to do this playlist. How long did it take for you to reassemble this playlist? How many times did you have to change a track in this playlist because somebody else did something?
How many times did I have to? Half a dozen.
Oh, shit.
Although I've been shuffling it constantly. I've, been going back and forward all the time. I've got a list of songs that were taken, though. I had fucking GTA 4, had Metroid Prime the other week. Jack Zera took my Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, shit.
Austin Wintory kind of ruined some of my plans. Austin himself, because I was going to talk about like dynamic video game music, but then he did it way better than I ever could have. He brought up his DAW and showed everyone. Yeah,
right. That was a special moment for sure. Well, we have this pretty robust looking playlist here, and I think we ought to just dive into it. What do you think?
Yeah. Most of these, a lot of these are just kind of like songs I like. I'm not going to talk about my life story with each of them.
Okay.
Not that I could do it, but
I'm betting there's a story behind everything. But yeah, you like to keep things, where it should be and stuff. And but yeah, and I'm down for it. But me on the other hand, I'm like an open book. Saying Kazi, of course, coming off the keels, coming off the boat, coming off the heels of Kazi and his energy, which I believe he's even here with us. That was still a great stream. Jesus Christ, it was 3 hours long for Pete's sake, but still, yeah, we had a blast.
Everyone watched that one. That's the Hall of Fame.
Does he not have the best laugh in the world, though?
That was...
I mean, I think we should just tell jokes and just let him laugh for the whole time. It'd be just like the new Recetas, the new laugh guy instead of the little Spanish guy that we always use. So, all right. So here we go. What we're going to do now is we're going to start with Turnip's Redeem, and excited to have him here. We've been just chatting it up. We're going to start with the very first track. Let's just go ahead and get into this track, and then we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards. Let's just get right into this first one. Is called Justice Genesis. Now, wait a second. Before I start that, which is which? What's the name of the band? Which one's what?
The band is a duo, a French house duo called Justice, probably the second most famous French house duo in the world. And this is kind of French house, but a bit darker, a bit heavier. It's really influential towards kind of EDM music that came after this. I don't know. There you go. That's enough.
All right. Well, super cool beans. I like that.
I
A darker version of EDM. I'm looking forward to that.
dark, yeah, like kind of led in a dark synth, things like that.
All right.
You know, Ginger knows, Lisa will know.
Oh, yeah. Already, Ginger's already in on it. Here we go. All right, let's go. Oh yeah. Oh shit. This is great. EDM goth cinematic. Oh. I like the bass sound they're using. It sounds authentic. It breaks up the pure digital edge of it. There's like that bass really adds a little element of super funk to it. I really love that. On that comment, yes. This almost sounds like something that Prince would have produced to use that technique. That's bringing another element of super funk into this for sure. Super creative right there. Oh, they put a little light in the loafer there. So it looks like it's going to end right there. So here's what I loved about this track. First of all, you were right about the darker, synthier sounds that they were using. Real throaty, real edgy in its modular, even less than modular, but what's the name of the tone generator? Shit, I'm having an old man moment. Anyhow, very edgy, and that darkness was set right up front. But as soon as they came in with that bass line, of course, that's when I jumped and I said, man, what it did for me is like instead of everything being completely hardcore EDM that I was going to be focusing on as I listened to it, it kind of brought me into a place where Just even though I knew that it was probably a sample of a slap bass and stuff, it brought me into a little bit more of an organic moment of listening to it. And then as the track progressed, there was these other funky elements that were brought in there. Aman had brought up earlier that this is a 4 on the floor track, which is just doom, ka, goom, with the drums and stuff. But that left the table wide open for this duo to actually insert these kind of pseudo syncopated kind of vibes to it, and just having a really good time playing around with the rhythms. But at the very end, or at one point, I said, this is something that, like Prince, like formerly known as and formerly alive guy, something he would have. It sounded to me like this would have been right up his alley. And of course, he's a genius, as far as I'm concerned. So there was that kind of like I could have, like, I hear these elements, in this, and that was a great track.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, it was really super cool.
Yeah, I started with something pretty straightforward. Thought it was a good opener.
Yeah, definitely a good opener. All right, let's go ahead and let's see what this next one's about. Tell me just a little bit about this next Enter Shikari Zzzonked. Tell me about it.
All right, so, Kazi was talking about, kind of like inspirations from your family and, friends and stuff, wherever you got your musical taste from. This is kind of like my sister. She was kind of like an emo kid. So I learned a lot of my music taste from her. I've already sent you some like MCR, My Chemical Romance stuff.
Right.
And some of my favorites from there. This is more, this is a little more obscure, maybe, kind of. And it's kind of, okay, so this is like a cross between the EDM and emo metalcore kind of band.
Ooh, that's going to sound trippy.
Pretty early on as well. There's, what is it? Is it Pierce the Veil that does it now?
Yes.
No, it's Falling in Reverse. That's the big one right now. But
oh, yeah, what's that guy's name? Ronnie Ranick or something of that nature? That guy, yeah?
Something like that, yeah. This is, am I too quiet? Let me just lean right in like pirate software. How's this?
Oh, yeah, that's nice and full. All right.
Okay. It's annoying because I can hear myself. I'm squatting. All right. Yeah, this is Enter Shikari. They're kind of electronic or kind of. My man is good. Oh, shut up. Yeah, we can just go whenever you like.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's hit it. I can see everybody's lighting up here.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
It starts off really quiet, so don't adjust your headsets. All right.
Okay, good shot over the bow, everybody, for myself especially, but everybody else. So it's going to start off a little chill, but he says it's going to jump off. So everybody ready? Are you ready, sir?
0 to 100, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh shit, you're right. I think I'm gonna give my eyes a light. I use my sockets to resistance. And with an icy cold stare, I'm pushing the bed. Mate, please have this invitation. So I can say you away. God, the end of the riff is so badass. God. I love that because this is a reveal. This is what's behind it before the dirt comes back in, the guitar. I ain't saying anything that could be construed as an apology. There's another case study for anthropology. I know there's an house in Bargoes and dinhouse on Farfos. Ingrowing Jeez. This last part of the track so far has emphasized more of the EDM aspect of them. Let's see if the guitar comes back in and double up. Always killing it with the cut time. Cut time and Phrygian are the most powerful things in my world. Oh my God. That was so badass. Couple things, well, more than a couple things. First, what a very unique recording in the sense where I'm listening just in my head as an engineer, an old engineer. Probably one of the coolest kit recordings I've heard in a long time. Without, there's not a lot of compression stuff going in there. They didn't have a lot of levels up with the overhead mics and stuff, so the cymbals like in the China Splash and stuff a little far in the back, but that kick was just so stabby in that, and that meant the world to me as I'm listening to it. The other thing is the riff, the opening riff, you know, obviously that's being doubled with the EDM works or all the synth stuff. That was written phenomenally. I'm going to have to put this on my playlist and go back and listen to it because that was just sick. But one of the things that, as far as I'm concerned, and, you know, this isn't a lean against Ronnie Raddick's band. I forgot the name of it. You had said earlier. This songwriting and technique and this kind of composition, and to me, was like another level. I'm not going to say it's better than his and his band, but definitely that upper tier, like right on top, if not maybe a skosh above. I think maybe it's because I really enjoyed the energy that they put into this musically. Even though there was all that, more of the heavier discursive EDM sounds came in and pretty much held the rest of the track. I thought between the drum work, the syncopation work that was going on in there, and also, of course, the vocals were crushing, I kind of like this a little better. I just think maybe as I'm getting older, I'm vacillating more towards a little loosely produced, and that doesn't mean bad, whereas Ronnie Raddick's band and stuff is very tightly produced, very... you know, Ginsu knife, and you know, sometimes it might sound like it's over clean or something, you know. But what a great track!
That kind of like the roughness with this genre, yeah.
Perfect way to put it. I couldn't have said it better. I probably could have cut out 2 minutes of talking just with that one phrase.
No, your talking was good. You're good.
But
there was one thing I forgot to mention. This was actually the first band I saw live, which is the entire reason I put it in here. I can't believe I forgot to say that. It was a tiny little venue with maybe 100 or 200 people, and they were a big band at this point, so that was really nice. They were going around like tiny towns in the UK and performing. And that was really cool. They're great energy, like it looks in this video, I guess.
Yeah, full on. I fully dug the song. I did. I moved that into my playlist because I want to go back and listen to it. Because I'm slowly but surely I'm being motivated to do a little more writing. So because you guys know me, I'm the king of starting tracks and I never finish. But lately, I've been wanting to start one. All right, so tell us about our next track coming up, which is called Afterlife from the Netflix series Devil May Cry.
All right, so Devil May Cry, great game series. The Netflix series is not very good, so don't watch it.
Okay.
But this song I quite liked. Afterlife by Evanescence. Now, everyone here should know Evanescence, maybe? That's another kind of emo, Mount Rushmore kind of staple artist. Yeah, but I wanted to put one of her maybe less known tracks here. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Not much to say about this. It's just a really good song from Evanescence, kind of 20 years after her, first thing, and I think she's still got it,
I love that. I love that you put it that way. The fact that sometimes, there's music and there's artists and there's bands and they come and they fly through and stuff. But what I do know about the Evanescence and the EMO scene is that this seems to be like a really, I think the best way you just said it, and I think Kazi said it a few times, that Mount Rushmore kind of vibe to it. So let's check this out.
I got that from Kazi, yeah.
Good. Kazi's already made an impression on us. How do you like that? We're going to the school of Kazi. All right, let's check this out. This is Afterlife by Evanescence. All right. Yeah, Judgment Kazi. I did listen to some stuff with Lindsey Sterling as well. It's phenomenal. Love that little bend there in the guitar. Look at that major third right there with the bass player. I love it. Nice stall out on the beat there. It caught me off guard. Really leaning on a lot of that ambient, ethereal vibe, the background. A little bit of a piano or a mallet thing going there in the sequence. Great with her vocals there. I just got full-on chicken skin there. Just where it sits in the mix. It's great. I love that. Keeping us in the minor, darker pocket. Giving us a little hope there. Wow. There's no two ways about it. That was such a badass track. I don't know, the history that you guys fill me in on her career and everything. But this was just released, a few months ago. It had every, chicken skin moment, checked off so many boxes for me. Of course, the tone of her voice, regardless of her legacy as an artist, I'm just listening to it as a body of work. She has just some wonderful dynamics tucked away in a lot of those vocal pops, if you would, where she's coming in and she might accent a little something. You hear a little squeak, you hear certain breaks and stuff like that. As I continue on about her voice, the vocal productions were badass. Some of that stuff where you had her long vocals coming out, but where they placed it in the mix was what kind of amplified, if you would, a moment for me, and I got the chicken skin. But there was a really big lean on the ethereal ambient use. That's what's happening right now in a lot of different variations of metal and subgenres. So you're hearing rich pads or whatever they're using now. There's guitar that can do it, with glittery, gleamy, plugins and stuff like that can emulate that. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's any synths or keyboards on it, but I'm just saying, just kind of not knowing. Excuse me. The guitar arrangement also, and the tones where it was also sitting in the mix, definitely, gave the people's elbow of the metal aspect of this track, but it was so well blended in as a total piece of work that it just, like I said, it's that new movement that I think, well, not so new, actually, it's been around for a while, but it's really taken a precedent of being able to successfully merge the heavier metal parts of staying authentic to that in with this ambient sound, and then also the weaving of, like I said, those vocal arrangements that were in the background. The other thing is you saw me a couple times go, I love the fact when artists or musicians, as they're doing their songwriting, will kind of dick around with your head a little bit, by, thinking that you're getting into this minor pattern, minor third or whatever, and then they slip in these major thirds, in the chord as you come around. So it really kind of pulls you from, I'm down in this heavier spot, I'm trying to give it, and then by going into adding the major third to the chord, all of a sudden you just go, it's a lift. So that was sick. This is another track that's going on my playlist.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
It's not a new genre. Yeah, you said. Definitely the game Devil May Cry is also kind of leaning into that similar vibe as the genre of music. I don't know. We've heard some Devil May Cry songs before, and it's the same kind of pocket.
Well, when you say that we've heard some Devil May Cry, are we talking about different artists that are woven into the game?
From the games, like the intros to the games.
Okay.
Definitely had like Bury the Light. I'm sure. I mean, chat can back me up.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have some more, but
I'm sure we will.
Like,
well, also congratulations to her as well for coming. Did you see? It's been a hell of a career for her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
With a voice like that.
Yeah, it's magic.
25 years or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely magical. All right, let's see what we got coming up next here. Let me see. Let me scooch up here. We have another track coming in, CKY 96, Quiet Bitter Being Music. Tell us about this next one.
Nice. CKY. I feel like you might know this one. But okay, so the co-founder of this band is Jess Margera. His brother is Bam Margera. You know Bam? Yes.
I'm not as familiar. No, I'm not familiar with it musically. No.
You don't know Bam? Bam Margera is a skater.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. I'm sorry. I don't know why it took me off to a different zone, but yes, I know who that is.
Right. Yeah. So he has a series of stunt videos, also called CKY, and that's kind of where they got their exposure starting off. And that was a precursor to Jackass, obviously.
Right.
And,
Hey. Okay. And did he write this?
So Bam didn't. This is the co-founder is Bam's brother, so there's nepotism and whatever. So they gave all their music to CKY, and it shows up in Jackass, and it shows up in all the skating videos that Bam's done. So I don't know if you've watched those, maybe you already know this song, but
no, I'm not familiar with the show enough, and I think that's a really smart idea when they gave them the music to use and cut in any way they can. So, if that's part is that kind of part of their inconspicuous marketing, I think that's brilliant. So all right,
it is just also a good song, right? I didn't just pick it because of some history. I mean, I just like this song. Everyone knows this song.
And that's all we need to know about it is that you like this song. So we're doing okay, so let's do this Turnip. This is CKY 96 Quite Bitter Being music video. Here we go. Just straightforward, just all in your face. With my perceptions in a mess, down 20 miles through the sticks, to the cloudy town of Hillview, population 96. Excessive vacancy, well maybe in the shadow of the night, all the strangers passing through it where the rules just don't apply. This is a great riff, but it's very mischievous, I don't know if anybody's getting that same vibe, but it's got a very mischievous vibe to it. Dark and mischievous. The only way to ever leave is overflooded by the storm and entanglement. I like the bass is giving it a little lift in the second part of this arrangement. And not one supports the cause to leave the blood stay in the veins. Something with this guitar tone, though, that's... That little glitch, that slide up is so badass. Yeah, man, this was a sick track, and it did have a lot of that. Somebody just mentioned there was a little bit of a Primus vibe to it. I think Kazmi said it was when we were talking about the riff, a little bit when I was trying to describe that, kind of kind of mischievous kind of sound in this riff that it also ended out in as well. Kind of nefarious, but I shaved my nefarious the other day, so I'm sorry, that's stupid. I was jumping on it.
What?
But it was, but no, it definitely had, and also that Primus vibe definitely had that going in as well. There was also something in there that I was going, what is that sound? Their riff, the way they played it, there's these slides that are happening that sound just so unique and so clean and stuff, which is really interesting. Also, with the vocals, there was a couple times that I noticed and really enjoyed. They used some kind of a phase wah plug-in and doubling the voice in that sounded. That's where I think we get the Primus vibe out of it. And then, of course, as watching the video, I think you were saying that this was the precursor to Punk'd. I mean, or that other show.
Precursor to. Well, I don't know about this video, but CKY is a show, and it's like a precursor to Jackass. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see that like these stunts could have been done with this music.
Right. I'm sure that there was probably some kind of implementation on it. If the music was being used in it, they decided to go out and do it. Yeah, doing something like that. Really fun, real mischievous. So far, this has been a pretty sick stream. So thank you so much for that one.
Yeah, an incredible riff of that. I feel like it's more than just the riff, but they really hammer that riff, that hook.
Yeah, it's in my head right now. But it has that thing. I
just want to play it.
Yeah, it's just that thing where it's just like I said. It's almost if I was looking at a Looney Tunes or an old Merry Melodies cartoon. It would be like, a character sneaking from one tree to another behind another tree and doing this, and it had that vibe to it. But it was, obviously produced as it was more punky Primus. I'd like to call it punky Primus. So yeah. All right. So what do we have upcoming next? We have, let me see. Coming up next, tell us a little bit about Acid Bath Cheap Vodka.
I like cheap vodka.
Full stop. Full stop. I'm down with you on that.
Yeah.
I've occasionally strained rubbing alcohol through white loaf of bread, if I wanted to get some cheap vodka. I'm kidding. I've never. Go ahead. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, it's all right. Acid Bath, kind of early sludge band, and yet I knew at least I would show up. I knew she would like it. Sludge metal kind of band. They split up in 1997 because I think their bassist was in a car accident or something. Or something. Yeah, that's what happened. Sorry, I just didn't want to talk about it. So they split up. Really good though, really influential. I completely forgot about them until I saw that they were randomly touring next year with Queens of the Stone Age and System of a Down.
Wow, that's a lineup.
For some reason. So that's
Jeez.
Two of my favorite bands. Acid Bath is also really good. Yeah. But yeah.
All right.
Everyone, yeah. Anyway.
So let's check this out then. This is Acid Bath Cheap Vodka. Let's go.
Sure.
Fucking meanest bass ever. That looks like John Wayne Gacy.
It is.
Oh. More like sludgy core in my head. Good layering on the vocals there. know why, I just got a hint of Pearl Jam right there. Damn. Boy, that was madness. Now, sorry, honey dried almonds here. So you had mentioned sludge, so I recognize that in the tone of the guitar, but it definitely sounded more core, more maybe black metal or punk sludge.
Yeah, punk. This is 1994, I think. So definitely punk and like early grunge.
Oh, okay. And that's funny you should say that about early grunge, because there was one little thing that he did. I go, that's kind of pulling a little bit of Eddie Vedder, like from Pearl Jam. Not that he was trying to do that, but it's so funny that when you mentioned grunge, and of course that's, Pearl Jam's, genre, I was like,
Nice. There's that slower segment in the middle where I was thinking it's kind of like early Tool, Undertow.
that's another one, yeah.
And then a little bit of Caius. Well, obviously, that's probably why they going with Queens of the Stone Age,
Kind of want to get under the hood and just go, why did they put John Wayne Gacy on this? I mean, we know who John Wayne Gacy was, serial killer.
Doing the, edgy kind of thing. I think they formed in like Louisiana or something. There were asylums around, or
now I would see why they would do that.
Country, I'm not saying all of Louisiana's like that.
No.
I wouldn't
oh
visit,
shit, we're getting canceled. Here we go. Oh shit. Okay, so now I noticed that you said we are going to slowly chill out a little bit. I don't know if I believe you or not about the.
We're like, this next one's half chill. We got
Soundgarden. All right.
This is a weird one. Black Rain. This was originally like an outtake or a demo for their 94 album, Super Unknown. The original lyrics were "Fell on Black Days," and then they moved that to their other song, "Fell on Black Days." But in 2010, I think, they came back from a hiatus. They cleaned this song up, and then they released it alongside Guitar Hero 6 for some reason. And I don't know, that's not very Soundgarden to me, and I don't know why they did that, but it's a pretty good song regardless. That's how I found the song anyway, Guitar Hero.
Well, that's a trip, but that was some pretty cool lore though that you found out. The lyrics went to one thing, but they decided to put somewhere else. So that's
they kind of left it on the back burner for 16 years or whatever.
Well, sometimes that happens, right? We hear stories like that all the time where, I don't know, I wrote this song and I just put it over here, didn't want anything to do with it. And 20 years later, I decided to do it. It becomes, something really significant to somebody's soundtrack of life. All right, so let's check
the
this.
other thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am slightly putting this in because, actually, no, this was on my options, but, SP had a Soundgarden, Kazi had a Soundgarden. I feel like I should have also had a Soundgarden.
Okay, I see what we're going here. Like-minded taste and everything. Okay. Well, then let's check this out then. This is Black Rain by Soundgarden. Here we go.
Yeah, it also starts in this with this.
a screaming guitar tone. God, what a voice! He's got the most amazing voice ever for rock, ever. Very Zeppelin-esque. Out of everything that's happening here, I'm laying into the cymbal rider right now. Drums recorded in a very small room, very tight room. Sounds great. This is really hypnotic, swarmy little area here. Wow, what a great production choice to end it with that really kind of their version of a squash lo-fi or AM output, if you would, sound. His voice, I mean, for me, he's right up there with Robert Plant, and I consider Plant to be like my pinnacle rock voice. Many, many great singers out there. It's not to say that there's others that don't have their own orb in greatness when it comes to being a vocalist. But, you know, for me, it's just because where I grew up, it was my soundtrack of life. The very first really super rock voice I heard was Plant. And then now, but Cornell, just, it's such a loss. It's kind of painful when I listen to this going, what could have come?
Yeah.
You know, what could have been, you know, and just the, you know, this discursive nature of life and issues that just has a toll. But what a fucking powerful song. Another thing I want to say, what I love about the era of grunge, Soundgarden, all of that was, it was a transition time of coming out of that overproduced style of contemporary metal, which we all know is the glam era. Everything was so, you know, produced in such a certain way. The one thing that I loved about the grunge era that I could say with full confidence is that love or hate it, whatever anybody may think, it resonated back to the true band performance in a recording studio of the 70s for me. You know, the imperfections were the brilliant points in songs like this. And what I mean by that is they weren't perfectly locked up, two guitars, and the tones were perfectly down and everything. There's just that whole movement of that organic performance. And the reason why I bring that up is that when they were doing the open note, so there's an open note hammer on riff that they did a couple times, and they did it with the sounds that were coming out of the amps and didn't try to purify it with any processing. So in other words, when they were going, I could have, as an engineer, ran that through a compressor and peaked it so that it would have been perfectly volume. You know, every one of those would have been very super clean and very tight. And the fact that it wasn't, that added that other extra organic dynamic to the performance. Yeah, it's already perfect, you know. So that's, I think, what for me was the resonating point in my soundtrack of life, that the grunge era brought back into it, you know, because we, like I said, we just kind of contemporary wise, you know, that glam sound that was more popular and everything. It was one of those things. And of course, the musicians that are backing this whole thing up, them Soundgarden to me is a legacy grunge band, but gosh, could have, you know,
Absolutely.
you know,
For
really,
me, it's definitely. I mean, I don't want to talk soundtrack of life, but they're in there. You know, it's like definitely like a teenage me. That was one of my first experiences with that kind of, you know, rock kind of music. You know, parents love classic rock, but yeah, that's definitely a me kind of. On my, what Kazi said, the Mount Rushmore.
yes, we're going back to Mount Rushmore. We're going to have to, I'm going to have to go dig up a picture of Mount Rushmore, and we'll put profiles up there of our profile pictures. So, no shit, right? Yeah, right, exactly. That's funny for the mods. Okay, so this next one, what do we have going on here? This is The War on Drugs, Red Eyes. What's this about?
Nice. Okay, this is a band also I found, you know, this year or maybe last year. I put them on the cheese wheel before and you loved them. So, you know, I brought them back because I had some space. So I just, you know, brought this one back. This is a really chill kind of psych rock. I don't know. It's like
Psych, like PSYC.
like smooth, slightly psychedelic.
Oh, I see.
Classic rock. I mean, last time we heard them, you did point out it was kind of like an 80s sound, and you almost didn't believe me that it was from 2021. Yeah, a great band. I think you're going to like it.
Okay, let's check this out. This is The War on Drugs, Red Eyes. Here we go.
Come listen, baby.
But this still has really nice little 80s vibe to the arrangement and stuff. Minimalistic in production, but really hitting all the marks. You know, that acoustic guitar work back there is so clean and so crispy and such an important part of the rhythm production. Yeah, that's another one, Bruce Springsteen, that's the other one. Love this vibe right here. You're talking about that floating lower end back there? Yeah, either a bass sax or tricked out bassoon. So identifiable on so many different levels. And they give us a fade. There's so many different little elements that this hits for me. You know, you did bring in the explanation of the fact that, of course, I at some point said it had that 80s vibe to it. And, you know, but of course, more recently produced. But there was a couple things in there that kind of brought it home for me is when I forgot who it was that popped in with, I think it was Lisa had mentioned Bruce Springsteen. I'm not too sure. It had that, not so much, it had that because one of the things that pulled it for me was that arrangement, a very high string-esque arrangement that was floating around the back. That was a technique. Yeah, that was a really nice technique to kind of pull you.
I fell in love with that middle section where they just
kind
of went underwater almost.
Yeah, and that was really good. That's really heady.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I like how long they stayed there as well.
Yeah, that's which sometimes we feel like we get robbed, right? We find a section of a song that we love, and we wanted to continue on, but they only hang out there for 8 bars. And went, nope, not going to do it. The one thing I was listening to also very closely was I was going 2 things actually. At the very beginning, that first minute and a half, you know, they had acoustic guitar going on in the back there. and very clean, very well recorded. Whether it's a sample repeated itself or if it's live, but sometimes, one of the unique things will happen is like you'll sit there and you'll play 8 bars of something, and then all of a sudden the producer might clip out 2 bars or 4 bars that are absolutely perfect, and chop that through, So love the vibe that the acoustic guitar gave the track in the beginning. You've heard me talk about the picks, the value of the pick against the string. Almost feels like it could be like a shaker, part of a percussive thing.
Yeah. It was a real sense of like constant motion.
Right. Very good way to put that.
Staying steady, but it was still also really reflective. I feel like, like this band has a kind of nostalgic feeling.
Yeah.
Even to me, even though I'm not like from the 80s, it still has that nostalgic feeling. I think that's what they're going for. Yeah.
Well, that's how we felt. I mean, both of us, and I'm sure a bunch of the gang here. It definitely had that nostalgia. That's why when you first played it for me, whenever you said that was back in the day, I could see why I would have said very 80s, very vibey and stuff, very nostalgic. I probably could have cut off 2.5 minutes of talking and just said nostalgic. That was perfect. So let's get ourselves into the next one here. I love these guys. I've become a fan of these guys only because of the Decomposer Lounge, except for their one hit song that was super big. Once again, because I had my head in the sand most of my life to contemporary music outside of my own bubble of creativity. I've become a huge fan of this next band. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Subterranean Homesick Alien by Radiohead?
This is next. All right. Yeah, so this... I mean, it's one of the best albums in the world, of course. You've done probably half the fucking album, but this is my favorite of it, maybe tied with 10 other ones. Yeah, this was a really like amazing song. Lyrics as well. I think I really fell in head around the time, like around the start of COVID, and I don't know, something resonated with me there because it's like, because the song's about like feeling like how everyone felt in COVID, like disconnected from each other, kind of. I don't know. Someone better than me could explain that, but
I think Judgment Kazi just did with his little emote. He's like, yes, I agree with you.
He nods, yes.
Yes. All right, well, let's check this all out together
kind of
then.
like isolation.
Yeah.
Really, really notice all the different kind of guitar effects that are used, right? Because I think that's one of the things you need to lean into. That, yeah. But
okay. All right, let's lean into that. So the emphasis
lean into everything. Just listen to the song, actually. Ears on. Just
okay.
Listen to the song, right?
Let's listen to it together. Guys, ready? Everybody here in the chat, let's do this. This is some Radiohead coming up. This is Subterranean Homesick Alien. And just to let everybody know, this is coming off of Turnip's Redeem session. Waiting in the wings for so long, but here we go. Nice delayed opposite. Wow, this is really vibey.
The breath of the morning, I keep forgetting the smell of the warm.
Oh, that super wet EP in the back. Ugh.
I live in a town where you can't smell a thing. You watch your feet for cracks in the pavement.
Oh, the bass. It's giving me Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds vibes, from the Beatles. I don't know why.
Up above, aliens hover, making home movies for the folks back home. Of all these weird creatures who lock up their spirits, drill holes in themselves
think it's also because of his phrasing that gives me that Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds thing. Having a great time with that electric piano. Going between pure sound to kind of a growly, overdriven sound between the hook and that is beautiful.
I wish that they swooped down in a country lane late at night when I'm driving. Take me on board their beautiful ship. Show me the world as I love to see.
What that guitar player was doing there, what he's doing here.
I tell all my friends, but they never believe me. They think that I finally lost it completely. I show them the stars and the meaning of life. They shut me away, but I'd be
Wow, you're right. The use of post effects for the languid ambience and etherealism is wonderful. Loving what the bass is doing to this. Ooh, they're not going to let you finish. I know that sounds less than... I'll let you guys figure that out in your heads. I wasn't going to go there. But I love that when artists and bands and musicians, when they finish a song, they don't land or leave off at a place where you expect it to. You know, this was kind of like leaving you hanging there, just being very kind of like not too sure where they're going to go. And then they leave it like that. Kind of, there's just a little bit, it's not that it's uncomfortable, it's just unresolved, you know. You were so right about the use of, whether it's pedals or post or whatever it is, with the delays and the reverbs, a little bit of slide work that was going on where I was talking about that melody here to the left.
Expertly put in, yeah.
And but what it really did is planted your feet. You really needed to kind of plant your feet in something to go on this journey in my head, because it was so uplifting and kind of pulling you in this kind of pseudo psychedelic vibe of escapism in the listen. You know, it really just, you escape. I can understand how something like this or a track like this would have been paramount for people like during COVID. Like a source of escape, like using it as a musical medicational, you know, resource to let your brain just drift out of the, you know, the confines of what COVID did. So there's no two ways about it. Something else I want to mention is I've always loved how they organically would use maybe it's a Rhodes electric piano or whatever it is. They didn't really mess around with a lot of the raw tone of that, it seemed like, but I love that they kicked something that actually happened early in the 70s. Was a lot of times bands were also kicking on distortion pedals on their Rhodes or their electric pianos, excuse me, you know, just to kind of might fortify a little bit of the arrangement during the hook and stuff. don't know that that's what they did here, but there was a definite switch between a distorted EP to the clean EP. It had a nice vibe, not vibe as in feeling, but there's vibrato. Sometimes you can get that back in the days when if you had a twin reverb or something like that. Anybody who can remember those amps, for God's sakes, you could set that to give you that swimminess and stuff. So, and then of course, this is something new for me too, because I've heard just enough Radiohead to be a wonderful fan, but I still never dove into albums and just listened through it. This is probably one of the first tracks in my experience with Radiohead that has a little bit more of an edgier tone to his voice. He really is kind of lifting and kind of...
You think so?
Well, no. I mean, for me, it's... Excuse me, sorry. I felt a little bit more of his personality coming through as he came forward in this track. I don't know why. Maybe I was mesmerized by the arrangements that it felt that way. But yeah, that was a great track, man.
Does that sometimes, but yeah. Yeah, like I said, this was, 20 years before COVID, this album. And it is about like, the social isolation because of technology or whatever. Kind of a vague description of it, but yeah. So that's why I brought up COVID, because that's kind of, bringing that back, tenfold or whatever. I like how you pointed out the chord at the end. It kind of makes me
left
feel
you
like
hanging.
It's like it. Where I'm picturing it is like you just saw a UFO pass by, or like you just been dropped off by aliens, and you're like, was that aliens? Did I just?
That's a good way to put it.
Feeling.
Oh man, no, that was a really good way to put that, and once again for me, that when musicians when they're writing a piece of music, they decide to end that way. I just find that to be. It's not that it's an unsettling, unfinished bit of business listening to a track, but it almost wants to make you just start the album again. Oops, I just showed my age with the needle, but. It makes you want to listen to it. This, without a doubt, I'm actually just slipped this onto my soundtrack of life, my playlist, because I want to listen to this a few times. Radiohead has been just a mesmerizing journey for me, and so to have this back on the playlist too, I can't thank you. And I've done quite a few from OK Computer, but
yeah, like I said, you've probably done at least half of the album.
I think
this track is one that I think is a bit underrated. I think I could listen to this one again and again.
Yeah, I was just about to say probably those who are big fans of the OK Computer album, which I've also seen in my comments that this was, for a lot of people, the monster album or project that really resonated, the band, the brand, the artistry and everything.
This was their first massive one. And
yeah,
it's one of 3 that people absolutely adore.
Yeah, it's this was a really great track, and you guys know me, as much as I get crazy into jazz and fusion and riffing and all kinds of craziness and wonderful and glory, the glory of hearing musicians do so many changes and stuff. I am just a complete nerd for this style of music, and that moves me in that capacity. But once again, the last thing I want to say before we get to the next song, when I was bringing up Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds, obviously that was a little more lighter and fluffier, the Beatles version of it. But what I think it was the cadence and the rhythm of his voice in some of the sections that kind of brought that to me.
Yeah. I'm thinking the guitar in this is kind of like the keys in Lucy in the Sky of Diamonds,
That's a good point too.
Like reverbed.
Yeah.
Compared to the guitar. Yeah, I see it.
Well, that's just where my pull was. Yeah. All right. Well, let's jump on to our next one here. What do we got going on here? The next one is called Red Vox and AV, I think. Is that the name of the band? Tell me about this before we start.
Red Vox. It's more like the war on drugs, I think. So Red Vox, definitely best known because their frontman singer is like a professional gamer live streamer. You know, they've performed at like indie gaming cons and stuff like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, Vinny. Yeah, you're right. I like this track in particular. I thought it was a bit. You know, I'm not saying they're bad. No, I'm not. I'm not saying they're bad. Like, no, sorry, I didn't mean that. Sounds really bad. No, they're fine. They're good. They're good.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad, but it sounds really bad, but it's not bad.
Yeah, in particular, I'm not trying. Okay, I didn't just pick them because the streamer. Yeah, right. The good. I really like this song. It's really chill. I also think that this is a good transition because after this, we're just doing video games. All right.
Oh, wonderful! It looks like you put a lot of thought to this.
No, I haven't. You're wrong.
All right, I was doing a supportive guess there, but I guess I'm wrong, like I normally am. All right, guys, let's check this out.
Support me.
I'm so funny. I'm not funny. Okay, guys, here we go. Red Vox, and I guess the track AV. I don't know what the name is there. We'll play into that later.
You know,
all right,
let's. Video.
Oh, audio video.
Right.
Okay, I'm waiting for all the old man emotes now. And watch they start popping up, and you know because I'm just.
Yeah.
It probably is. All right, guys, let's do this. Nice. That's great. I'm loving so much the focus on the ambient aspect of the track. First of all, this was an excellent follow-up to the Radiohead track for sure. But the whole and his whole laid back voice approach on this was really kind of storytelling. What's the word I'm looking? The word I'm looking for is comforting. A comforting tone in his voice.
Yeah.
And
I think he says he has a kind of like inspiration of Kurt Cobain a little bit, which
I
isn't
hear that
comforting, but it's, you know, Stone Temple Pilots a little bit, and a lot of Beatles. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, but the other thing is too, there were some really great chord changes that kind of caught me off guard a little bit, because I get into a particular glide sometimes with a track, and that's where I get like wonderfully surprised, is the fact that they come in with this really nice little run, or that little bit of the melodic, dun, 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 just very nice. Those are subtle. But it was in unison with the bass and stuff, and it was a nice little. Just a little shift away from the mellow pattern that we had going there, and then they were really rinsing hard on ambient ethereal work once again. Ambient ethereal, ethereally ambient.
Mellow glide, like you said, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you would really like the audio and the visuals were kind of your style.
Yeah, because I have that one on my Sounds of Tranquility, which is kind of a pseudo cyberpunk kind of.
Yeah.
I was looking at that going, hey, I know. But I mean, they did a great job with, every now and then the words would pop up and stuff like that, obviously. But visually, yeah, I was into it. I was like, I know that one. But the track was very. Like slowly exhaling your last bong load. I mean, I'm just saying, not that I know, I'm just saying that,
And if that's what, if that's what you needed, or if that's what you got from it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got from it. I was like, let it come on.
Who needs it?
Oh, okay. So let's see. What do we have here next up? This is Secret Lab, right? Jan van der Kruisen. You tell me about it.
Secret Lab. This is from indie game, pretty well-known indie game, even though it wasn't that good, but it was decent. It was pretty good.
I like that under your breath. Wait, hang on. I got to call you on that. I like that under your breath. You got that thing going back. Oh yeah, this is coming from an indie game. Yeah, it really wasn't that good. I just kind of maybe. But anyhow, I did. I like that.
Journalists love it. It's that kind of. All right, this is from the video game's called Stray. You play as a ginger cat, and you're like exploring this decrepit industrial collapse society, kind of like the visuals in the last one, except there's no humans left. It's kind of like reclaimed by nature. Hello, Snake. Reclaimed by nature sort of world, and this is in a lab. I'm not going to go hard into the stories because the track is just 2 minutes long or whatever, but I feel like this is a good ethereal kind of sounding track that you might like.
All right, let's go for it. I do, but you know what? I do recall either somebody suggested this as a game or somebody suggested this as maybe another track came off of it. But there's something about this that I somewhat recall.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came up on our stream or something.
Someone definitely recommended it to you. It's very approachable, which is why it won the award over other more deserving things. But yeah, and there we go.
Okay, well, let's check this out. This is Secret Lab. Jan van der Kruisen freaking. I'm just freaking to play it. I don't know. This is great. Giving me a little touch of Danny Elfman. Oh, nice change. Nice touch with the mono pad. That little descending line. key change there. Nami Nam. Oh, that's a good call with the portal too. Yeah, you're right. You know, based on your description of the game, and I think Lisa was mentioning too that it's like a second-person point of view or something, I guess. Anyhow, if it's the cat that's going through and just investigating and doing things, this is perfect for that because it's a beautiful piece, but it's a lonely piece.
As far as I'm aware, you control the cat.
You control the cat. Okay. Okay, I didn't know. I may have misread because I'm old, and then that's what. Okay. But it definitely seemed like it was a lonely piece. So if it made sense to what it is that you described with the game, that the cat's just kind of meandering around a post-apocalyptic kind of town or something like that, I could see that. But it did have a little smidge of that Danny Elfman.
Oh. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. I'm glad I gave you the kind of theater of the mind, as you like to say, for that, because I thought this was a really nice piece. You would appreciate it.
I did.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the game should be up your alley. Then
I'll try it.
Kind of like Little Nightmares. I'm not.
I love that game.
Push games on you, but yeah.
Why not? I never thought in my life I would have invested $500 into video games already. I mean, I know some of you have probably done a lot more than that, but for me at my age, I'm thinking, I look at my Steam list, and I'm like going, bro, I've gone, Jesus Christ. They get you a little at a time, don't they? They get you at $9 here, $12 here.
It's the sales you have to buy.
I'm going to have to check it out.
Some people spend a lot more, and then they don't play the games. Everyone in chat probably
probably has one that they've bought they haven't quite gotten into yet, or maybe they just played an hour or so and they're back into their other game. And but Snake gave me a wonderful tutorial on Clair Obscur, and so I'm still working through that, so I'm excited to still learn on that edge. But I do have to admit, Little Nightmares and Portal have been the ones that I really vacillate towards. So I'm gonna actually go check out Stray and just see what happens, and maybe just go ahead and buy it and do a quick run on Twitch.
I'll buy it when it's on sale. How about that?
Okay, well, I'll put it on a wish list. Is that what you do when you go on Steam? You put it on a wish list and wait for it to go on sale or something?
I guess so. Yeah.
I don't know. I like that. I guess so.
Or you just fill in your wish list, and then that never gets looked at either.
All right, my friend, let's see what we're coming up with next. This one is called Rain World, the opening cinematic of Adult Swim games. Tell me about this.
Okay, Rain World. Again, kind of similar to the last one. You play as it's an indie game. You play as a cat-like creature, I guess. Again, just trying to find your way through this world. And the thing is, the story is like, it's not told to you, it's shown to you through, I can't remember what the word is, but it's, the atmosphere.
So what you're saying is it's a game made for guys that only look for pictures in the book.
Yeah, it's picture books. Although, yeah, kind of like Journey and Sword of the Sea. Yeah, environmental storytelling, that's what I mean. Ludonarrative, whatever, environmental storytelling.
I love those games.
Yeah, although Rain World is really, really hard, and I don't recommend it unless you like hard games. So not you, even the chat members. It's really, like, it's kind of really difficult.
So when you say something like that, though, is that like a frustration level? Like it gets so hard that it frustrates the player, and they're just like, "Fuck it, I can't do it."
Honestly, yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Really
the honesty, that's the honesty. I'm down for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Yeah, I feel like I should have put some Rain World in because that's the video game that my profile picture is from. You know, I really like this video game. No one else is gonna. So,
okay.
yeah. So
Let's go. Patty Cakes just pulled out the curse jar for me. Sorry, bro.
Go ahead. Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
So this is like a cutscene at the opening of the game. So it kind of just speaks for itself, just setting the scene. It's kind of sad. So get some tissues. No, it's fine.
All right, then. If that's the case, everybody get some tissues. Let's go. Hey, did I just see SB come in the house?
SB.
I think SB's in the house. Lisa B.
SB.
It's Team Lisa B. They're both here. All right, let's do this. This is Rain World, the opening cinematic. He says this is a very difficult game. I should stay miles away from it, but nonetheless, I need to get tissues. Let's go. Kind of reminds me of the Ori character. I'm not crying, you are. You were so right. Emotionally pulling in the sense that the music was very, like the despair and the sadness. Beautiful. Great choice of sounds and stuff to compose with, but there was a lot of despair in the arrangement. Then I'm looking at like you said, even for somebody who doesn't play the game or know anything about it, it just sounded, are those guys, are they eating bats? I'm sorry, I'm looking at the thumbnail right now. Anyhow, whatever this is, it kind of reminded me, I thought for a second, the character looked a little bit like Ori character. But you know, something else, I think you said it even, the fact that they have the black eyes and stuff gives us kind of this soulless, darker heaviness to it. But as far as the music was concerned, it was almost like it felt like there's no point in trying, and it's a heaviness and kind of a gloomy blanket of ooey gooey ambience, if there's such a thing. But that was a really well written little track for watching it against, you know, like you said, it was a cutscene, these different things here. So that was nice. You're right. But I did feel it. You know, you gave me just a little bit to lean on, but I did feel it for sure. So thanks for making me cry, man. Okay. Oh, did I lose you? He's on mute, and he doesn't even remember he's on mute. I could see you on mute, bro. There you are.
Fucking hell. Sorry. I was just laughing. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Tasty bats. Yeah, I really like the instrument they used, like slightly vocal thing that wow. You know.
Wait. How did it go?
You know how it goes.
Yeah, it goes.
I'm not drunk.
Did I say you were? Did we even know you had a drink? I wouldn't have known. I don't. Just kidding. No. Yeah, no, it did it. It was. It's a hollow sound. It's a hollow sound. The despair in what was used instrumentally is a hollow despair.
It's used a few times in the soundtrack. So this soundtrack in the actual game itself, not this cutscene. It's kind of ambient, atmospheric. Sometimes there's no music. There's just sound effects. So the music has been compared to like graffiti, and just kind of there and just like sort of in your vision, but and then when you notice it, you really know. Which is going to be like the next track, which is also from Rainworld, and yeah, yeah.
So this
we
next
can
one,
just hop into that
so
whenever
so
you want,
yeah, you're about to jump into Rainworld, right?
Rainworld again. Yeah, yeah,
Again, yeah, we're about to do that. Is tell us just a skosh more.
Yeah, again, Rainworld, like Snake said, it's this little ecosystem. You really play as this little small creature, this little thing that you're seeing, little cat thing. Like Stray, you're playing as a cat in a, reclaimed by nature, post destruction industrial society. And this is supposed to be in a factory, kind of like a completely decrepit, destroyed factory that you're exploring. Obviously, you are a stupid cat thing. You have no idea what this land
Stupid cat thing.
wants. You're just trying to fucking live in it.
All right, let's go on a journey with Stupid Cat Thing. Let's see what this is all about. Yeah. This is James Primate, Bioengineering Rainworld. All right, guys, here we go. I like to whistle. Your descriptions are really precise on the game, so in my head, this industrial post-war, post-apocalyptic kind of vibe with this particular track really comes together. That little theremin vibe back there. It's a little hangover on that delay of a couple of notes colliding, kind of getting slightly dissonant. I mean, I know that's much to explain, but the obvious difference between the first one and the second one, this one, when you were at least explaining that it was some kind of an industrial area, kind of maybe like nuclear, and it's like poison that's around it, or you're sneaking through it. I really liked how the composer, with the choice of instrumentation, kind of really supported that theater of the mind that you painted me about where this character might be going through at this point. It's like it's being reclaimed a little bit by the land and stuff, but yet it's an old industrial thing. And the fact that the tones that were used for the track are that singy, kind of fried, industrial, metal-y kind type of, little tone generation there. And especially what really puts it over the top for me is that super cheeseball snare. It's an obvious, but that it's just, it's not real. It's just way over the top. It's just there to hold down the 2 and the 4, but it makes a difference in it, yeah.
yeah, all the society is long gone, but the machines, keep going, whatever.
Coming soon to a theater
Yeah.
near you with our current politics. Yeah, society's all gone there. So, okay, what's this next one? Looks pretty cool.
Right.
What is this, Snake Pass?
What is the next one? All right, so the next four-ish are just kind of video games that I like. There's not a big deal about these. Am I a robot? Oh no, he's just okay. My voice.
No,
is
you're
good,
fine. You sound great.
I guess this does come at an important point in my life, but that's not why I picked it. I just picked it because it's good. This is another indie game, Snake Pass. Not very well known, but the composer is well known. It's David Wise.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think this is a banger, one of his best. Yeah, I've been putting this on the cheese wheel for it's never come up, so here.
So fine, here. Nobody lands on me. Put it on my redeem here.
Do it the hard way.
All right.
And then, don't judge it by its cover. I mean, the game's, I will actually say it, the game is not, like, fantastic or anything like that. Again.
All right, don't judge it by its cover, but let's judge it by its music.
The music stuck with me because it's really good. Yeah, don't judge it by its cover. It's a goofy looking thing. Yeah. All right, you're off. You can go.
Okay, phenomenal. This is Snake Pass OST, Sog-Gee's Realm. Here we go.
I'm a Snake Pass.
This music is super. That beautiful arpeggiation in the back is making this float so well. I was thinking something just like that, Turnip. It goes good with my dried mango. And there is a little pseudo kind of reggae kind of vibe to this. What a great track, jeez. This can go on so many different types of Stardew Valley type games as well. I mean, the little kalimba and marimba. Very floaty, set your mind free. It makes me nut too, you see? Ooh, pretty. That string arrangement right there. Dun, 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 dun. I love that pattern back there, emphasizing the chord changes. Ooh, that's an old school synth pad bass or synthy bass. Man, you're right. When you had said earlier, this has that aquatic vibe from Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Same composer, yeah, and it's an aquatic kind of world level.
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, he definitely was able to match that. That's really unique because in his mind, as a composer, if it's any kind of purposeful recall to the aquatic Donkey Kong, kind of maybe a call to, if you would, or a connective. He did a phenomenal job. Or it could be just in his orb that every time he would see as a composer anything that had to do with tropical and water stuff like that, that's his go-to setup. The marimba, the kalimba, the pads, the arpeggiations.
It is tropical, kind of water-based levels, like you said, yeah. The game itself is a bit different to Donkey Kong. I mean, it's still a platformer, but it's, you're a snake. You have to like wrap around things rather than whatever Donkey Kong does, just jumping and smashing and stuff. Definitely the water vibe really hits hard. I really like the underwater section. Like I said in chat,
Yeah, that was you expressed yourself well in that. But yeah, no, it was very. The other thing is too that makes it very swimmy are the arpeggiations that are just constantly going, and of course the tones that you use for that. And I really like that. One of my favorite parts of his when he kind of just put in a little bit of a string pad just towards the end, instead of like maybe doing it at the beginning and really giving us this really expansive, stereo imaged kind of vibe. I loved how he saved it just a little for the end. Like to give us the big finish since you nutted. I'm just saying. What I mean is that
the aftercare.
The aftercare. Oh shit! Here comes Quado. Oh, that's great. I'm dying. Okay, well let's move on to this next one you have for us to listen to. This is Gerudo Desert. Tell me about this.
Okay, Gerudo Desert from
Gerudo.
Legend of Zelda: Crypt of the Necrodancer, Cadence of. Which is a big long name, so just call it Cadence of Hyrule. It's a kind of collaboration between Zelda and Crypt of the Necrodancer. Two great games with two great soundtracks, and this comes together, and this is great soundtrack. This track, Gerudo Desert, you've heard it like twice before, but this is a different version, so you're hearing it.
Oh, I see. Okay, good. I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
This was on Patty's stream, I think. Was it Patty's? Whoever done the Zelda thing, you did this track. So you might recognize it, you might not. It's a different version.
Yeah, I think
Songs
it.
don't actually hear it thrice.
Yeah, I think it was Patty's thing. I'm not know. Did Patty do Ocarina of How Do You Do? But either way, let me see. Get my finger on the right button. I almost blew it. All right, guys, let's check this out. This is Gerudo Desert, and kind of a. But this is a cover. Are you saying this is just another version of it, or is it a cover?
It is another version because this is a game.
Mm-hmm.
This is a game, the collaboration between an indie game and Zelda franchise. It's like a rhythm kind of game.
Okay.
So it is like an official version. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
The guitarist on this is a YouTuber, Family Jewels, like someone said, which is really cool that he got to, perform in it. I think we've heard his stuff before, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
I love when we get those little bits of information too. I love to celebrate when musicians get really cool opportunities. So, All right, here we go. Let's go. Gerudo Desert, Combat, Cadence of Hyrule. Here we go. Oh, that poor drum sound. Oh my God, that synth. Almost sounds like the soundtrack of on any Sunday. Very, very famous motocross movie from the 70s.
You know that melody?
There's that lead work. The bass is all chord. So, I was watching you guys in the chat here saying that this is some kind of game action to rhythm. You're saying that this is you step to the beat. So what is this? Does it have to have one of those little plastic player things? I mean, what does that mean? What is that?
I mean, I guess you could play it like that, but no, you just press the arrows to beat. Step, 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 and then attack to the beat and all that. It's kind of like Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what Kazi was saying, I think, when he's... Yeah, remember I started playing Hi-Fi Rush. I didn't finish it, just like we were talking about all the games that you buy and you never finish, but... right?
At least you started it.
Now I'm going to go back. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of doing another music reaction to the Power Wash one. A lot of people like that, and that was kind of fun. Anyhow, let's go back. What I was saying was the tone. First of all, I love the guitar work, so it was great that he came in to actually do the guitar work and all that. That was the one thing in the track that pushed it into like having the visual of a musician playing. The other thing is, though, it did have some really nice lines in it that was kind of nostalgic. I think it may be nostalgic for me. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a motocross racer, never get the opportunity. I did play around with riding motocross for a little bit, but there was a really famous movie called On Any Sunday that really hyped it, in the 70s. And there was a lot of really unique nostalgic sound melody in this that reminded me of that. So I know that's just a step away from the total conversation, but me personally, I was like, that da-da-da, 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 da-da-da kind of stuff. And then
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it's quite an old... I mean, this melody is taken from a really old game, like 30 years or whatever. So that would make sense that it's got that nostalgic vibe to it as well.
Right. Okay, I see a video coming up of one of my favorite composers. Is this Celeste?
Oh yeah. So someone took my actual Celeste suggestion. So we're gonna do this. This is actually a remix of the normal level. It's like a bonus level, and Lena Raine brought in a guest composer to remix the track. So this is a really nice high energy track from Krista Lee. I don't know who that is, but they did a good job.
All right. Well, let's check this out. This is Lena Raine inviting Krista Lee in to do a remix. It's called the Good Karma remix of, does it have an actual name to it? No, it doesn't. It just says...
The hotel level, was it Celestial Resort?
Okay. It says right there. Stupid. I'm so bobo. Okay, guys. Here we go.
There you go.
Jason Sexy Jazzy. Getting nice and fusey here. Fusion. Great layering, great arrangements here. That's some tricky bassline programming using a monophonic patch. It's really cool. Very tricky to do. Super tricky little sequences there that are doing really a lot of the heavy lifting as far as the keeping our heads bobbing and stuff like that. These kind of Violet Pony-esque. A lot of really complex arrangements going around in the back, bouncing around. But it looks like, I don't know if maybe Krista Lee participation was that lead work that we heard all the way through. Trying to decipher where that would have come through, because I know that. Leland Rains is an extraordinary composer.
Yeah, that's like original, right? That's not in the original track. That's part of the remix. She changed a lot in the remix, right?
Yeah,
is what I'm trying to say. So this is basically just all Krista Lee. If I'm being honest.
She was tearing on it. And the other thing is too, as I had mentioned earlier about that bass line, the monophonic aspect of it. I may have mentioned it to you guys before. A couple times, but when you're playing a keyboard and you choose a monophonic patch, no matter what the sound is, you only can hear one note at a time when you play it. So in other words, like piano players, they'll play a cluster of notes, you'll hear a full chord. In a synth mode and monophonic, you hit one and you can't make a chord, you'll just hear that one. But what'll happen is that if you hit that one and you hit your next note at a certain time, it does this nice slide, whoop, so whoop. And then you can do the percussive rest of the arrangement. That's when I was saying that bass pattern was so cool. Having that monophonic kind of glide in there too, as well. So, and the track was hypnotic. Some very nice chord changes, but definitely had more of a fusion flair to it.
Yeah, real fusion, like jazzy. I think that's what we're going for.
Very sexy.
Yeah, it's weird you mentioned Violet. Yeah, I hear that now that you mentioned.
Yeah, well, Violet to me is like the modern day, kind of like
modern day
arranger that's just blowing up with her vision and her technology and the way she hears tracks and the way she creates tracks, And also, if you did you hear any of our interview?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
I watched it multiple times because I had to put the chapters in.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot. I forgot. But she brings so much to it too. I mean, her intellect and everything that she's about as a human being, as a spirit, and as an artist. You can hear it really come together in such a chaotic way and just make some great music. So anyhow, I strayed, but yeah.
No, that's fine. I was going to bring up Violet at the end of the stream actually, but
okay. We'll chat up with her after that.
When we cross it or something. Yeah. Next one.
Moshi Mizuta, or Naoshi Mizuta.
Naoshi Mizuta. This track is called Full Speed Ahead. I think Full Speed Ahead. It's from Final Fantasy 13-2, and it's just a really good track. Sorry, I don't have much to say. It's just a really good track. It's a game that I like, and it's just I think you're gonna like it.
Okay.
I had space, so I put it in. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all you've got to say about that.
One more of those.
That was a Forrest Gump moment there. Okay, let's go ahead and check this out. All right.
All right.
Kind of a Between the Buried and Me kind of, well, up until then. The two different guitar tones, loving these arrangements. bass is hooking it up, though. I'm sorry. Nice piano work. Nice chord work on the piano. Good choices. Oh, speaking of which, let's tinkle on the keys. But guys, listen to that bass. Wow. Woo. Smoking. Jeez. Violinist is crushing. That was probably one of the best violin solos I've ever heard in a contemporary structure. Oh, that drummer. Gosh, I wanted to end. I don't want it to end. It was so intense. What? How you like that? A little bit of a bass bark at the very end. That was just incredible fusion music. Full stop. I can only imagine where in the game this must have played. I have no idea. That, without a doubt, was probably one of the best pop contemporary violin solos I've ever heard. In that capacity and the way it was played, it was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I was just blown away by it. Yeah, so that's why I put it in. And it's as simple as that sometimes.
Yeah, it was definitely it was definitely insane.
Underrated.
Yeah,
game in the series, as far as the series goes. I mean,
you mean as far as gameplay?
I mean, as far as Final Fantasy, everyone knows Final Fantasy, but this game is kind of under the radar, you know.
Yeah.
So it's nice that they hid some bangers into this one. Same as the next track.
Okay, next track is what?
If you want. It's Final Fantasy X2.
Mm-hmm.
X2. X is one of my favorite games of the time. This is kind of like a, I don't know how long later, but like a 10 years later or whatever kind of. And this is the theme of Besaid Island, which is where it all began in the first game, where the main characters met and things like that. So it's kind of got that nostalgic kind of vibe that I think you'll like. Also, I'm going to pee while this is on. Sorry. So you can just start.
All right,
as soon as
everybody.
you're ready.
Okay, go take a pee. I'm going to listen to this song. You have 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Ready, go. That's what happens if you have a few beers before your stream. Then you have to stream. This is gonna be a sexy track. Snake, Jesus. A very romantic kind of vibe with this track for sure. Yeah, this is hopeful romantic here, so that makes sense, Judgment. Little soft pad in the background. I love the subtle, it's just a very repetitive pattern with the sound design, you know, that we're hearing. Oh, so wonderful. Jeez. That was just an absolutely beautiful track. That was just, for me, I just got lost. I forgot I was actually listening to it for a reason. I just got sunk into it, and I'm sitting there, you know, the sound of that acoustic guitar was phenomenal, and it's, you know, in my mind, that's really super, just unbelievable playing, but
beautiful.
Sound of the sound of the right hand or the body hand, like he could be a lefty, I don't know, but in my case, the picking technique was flawless. So was the actual moving of the chords and stuff like that. It was like, in my mind, I'm like going, I don't know if I could ever work 2 or 3 lifetimes to get to a place where I can make chord changes like that and not hear a little bit of string buzz or fret buzz or something like that. And it was just absolutely flawless. And the piano was so romantic, yet romantically hopeful, kind of not sure if love is on the horizon, but I feel good about the possibility kind of vibe. So that was a beautiful track, man. How was your
As you
pee, bro?
mentioned. It was really good, actually. Longer than expected. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm just saying that because you should have seen the comments afterwards were pretty funny when you split. No pun.
Yeah, Kazi mentioned. Sorry, I was muted for that, wasn't I?
Oh, no. We heard the whole thing. No, I'm kidding. I just.
You heard the chicken frying. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Kazi mentioned. Yeah, this game is like about overcoming loss and love, and maybe even finding it again. Oh, but that's right, though. This is like where these two lovers met, and I won't say how, but things didn't work out in the first game. He was dead the whole time, but it's definitely a love, like life goes. That's what I feel about the last track. After when the guitar is kind of soloing, that gave me kind of life goes on kind of vibe. Is what
that's a good pull. That's a fair pull because as the guitar solo was kind of winding,
but
yeah, as the guitar solo was kind of winding down, there was that slow pull of that just a little arpeggiation of the piano, which is really nice. It kind of gave that little, a little bit of a light separation of hopefulness, still being beautifully positive and stuff. Still a little bit of like,
You're really positive. You're not sad.
Right.
And it's not even really melancholy. It's just like happily remembering.
Yeah. Really brilliant. It was a beautiful track. I was just thinking, I was like, try not to think of you taking a pee. Okay, shut up, Jeeves. Think of something else. Okay, now I'm kidding. Okay. Anyhow, what's next, my friend? Oh, go ahead, say.
Okay, sorry. One more thing I want to mention.
Sure.
This Besaid Island is where this plays. Besaid is kind of like Pacific Island. I think that's what it's based on. So I want to say, picture this in fucking Hawaii or whatever. I don't know. I think
yeah, you know what? That would have been a great Circle Island journey, like of a song, actually, if you're just driving around and just looking out into a sunset as you're driving around. Yeah, that's perfect, though. That you just reset the image for me.
The whole game the world is like Pacific Island, kind of like Indonesia, but some parts are more Hawaii, I think. I don't know, because,
We'll just have to get you out here to Hawaii, man.
Geography. Yeah, I'll have to compare for myself, yeah. Anyway, yeah, move on.
Okay, so Castle in the Mist. What's this?
All right, so the last 4 tracks, some of them are pretty short. They're all from Eco or Ico, I don't know. But Eco is a game that is very influential, kind of a cult classic, I think. Violet Pony mentioned it as an inspiration for herself. Who was it? Whoever did the Fear and Hunger. Was that Soundgarden?
Oh, that would be no, Skippy.
Oh yeah, Skippy. Skippy mentioned Eco as influential to Fear and Hunger. I think it's influential to like Little, honestly. And it also led into Shadow of the Colossus, which like Dark Souls. So this is like a ancestor kind of game, and yeah, really influential, kind of atmospheric, partially atmospheric kind of track that I think you'll really love. Yeah, hello Skippy.
Hey Skips, what's up? Okay. Well, what I'll do is this. Since these are all 4 in the same, I think I'll just run them concurrently. And then let's run them concurrently, and then we'll chat about it at the end. How about that?
Yeah. I can just say, oh, this is Battle Theme. Yeah. This is blah blah. This is, and then we can go next. Yeah. So just run them concurrently.
All right, let's do this. I look forward to this. Okay, here we go. Castle in the Mist, and some more that's following straight afterwards. So let's go. I'm gonna say it sounds like banjo, but I can't be 100%. Could be mandolin. Too bright to be a uke. Could be a lute as well. Some of that fretless bass. Hypnotic pattern. That was like God, that was a great track. That little pad helping it at the end, that was beautiful. I guess next up is called Darkness. It's going to go right into it. Here we go.
Yeah, so this is more of a battlefield in a sense. You know, danger.
Super trippy. I love this. Like coming off a bad heroic dose of peyote. Not that I know that's what it feels like. But just... Eerie as hell, that's for sure. Like an ice cold eeriness. Oof, that was great. And I love the percussive nature of it, but it was ice cold and eerie. Next up is Castle in the Mist. No, it's not. It's something else. Oh man, I'm loving this. This is called Heal. Sorry, guys. this is so doable if you're playing a video game and trying to get through a part of the game, that if you have to keep looping through it or something to get past it, this is so doable, this music. Really gets into your head.
Yeah, I'm sure this is from a resting site, not a battle.
Yeah, fully chill. Bruh, these last two tracks were just, I'm loving what the composer's doing here to kind of establish that brainy kind of ambiance and stuff. Okay, what's this one?
This last one is, I think, kind of the credits or epilogue scene. There is some ambience to it as well. I think it was a good closing track. So, enjoy.
Very sound designy. Oh, there we go.
The island bathes in the sun's bright rays. Distant hills were a shroud of gray. A lonely breeze
Beautiful.
whispers in the trees. So witness to
And it has a bit of a Renaissance folksy vibe.
fleeting memories rise from the shadows of my mind. Sing no more, endless corridors. Sing no more,
Beautiful voice. Big fretless bass. That's not where I was expecting that beat or that pattern to come in. Ooh, that warm, gummy bass. What a beautiful end theme track. Absolutely perfect song for the, culmination of a video game or a movie or as an end theme kind of vibe. I was gonna say for a second that maybe it was. I was going to say at first it sounded like a girl, but then I also know that when boys are very young, they still have their the younger tonality with them. So I guess somebody had just posted up that this was a young singer, a young boy.
You play as a pretty young boy, so I think that's what they're leading with. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful vocal. It had a very folksy vibe to it with a little bit of a Renaissance swing to it. I do have to say I was slightly thrown off a little bit by the drum percussive arrangement of it, and not thrown off in a bad way, like it did.
Yeah.
Pardon?
It was slightly offbeat, or it came in at a weird time. You said.
It came in at a weird time, but it wasn't like it ever rectified itself. It never said, okay, if it's going to come in an odd beat or an odd position, will the pattern at least dictate some kind of consistency? But it seems like it was very pop. It was just kind of, it definitely made sense rhythmically. If you're reading a piece of music, it's all locking in. It's just where the particular drums or the percussions are hitting at certain points. I never was able to really felt like I was settling back in. But yeah, that's a good point too. That you just put down. Did you say that it kind of felt like it was a panic moment for you? Or is it you answering something else?
No, not this song. I mean the entire.
Your entire stream. Well, first of all, before I make a little comment about that aspect of it, this was an extraordinary playlist, and I loved every bit of your journey. But guys, I do want to let you know that he came in ready to go. Turnip was a little nervous, and if you don't. If you're not, comfortable with it or something like that. I assured him, I said, don't worry, I'll make it comfortable for you. And
I was really nervous about doing this. It felt like a job interview.
Yeah, you'll probably sleep really good tonight after all that stress and stuff. But I think you had
really
said you had a little bit of a jump start with a drink or two. Was it beer or was it a little more shot wise?
It was gin, and I don't even like gin, but.
I don't like gin, man. I don't know. Fuck, man. I'm going to do this thing. I don't know what's going to happen. I just need some alcohol in my system. I need to calm down. Hang on for a second, Let me see. Hang on. I'm in between, this. That's hilarious. You're drinking gin. You don't even like it. I don't know, man. How am I going to get through Jeeves to redeem and stuff? Jesus. No. But you did a great job. And as a matter of fact, I loved everybody. How was this playlist?
Day that ends in Y. Yeah, people liked it, I think.
Oh man, it was a wonderful time hanging out with you, and this was a great playlist, and you were much more participating than you thought you would. You thought you would maybe be a little more, but it was great. Yeah. And of course, everybody needs a pee break when we're pushing 2.5 hours here, so that was great. So I want to thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. What I'm going to do is obviously I'm going to pop this up on YouTube in about a day or two. We'll cut it through. Good thing is that Turnip doesn't have to worry about the chapters because he knows every song by heart. So you just go through your playlists and stuff. But do we have one more?
I could throw in one more.
What do you got?
And people are saying one more.
One more is everyone's saying an encore. Okay,
refresh then.
Refresh it. Oh! He did. He had one.
You've got the energy.
Let's go. Let's do it, and then after this, we'll go. We'll bail out of this. Let's see what happens here. Let me refresh. So hang on for a second, so something doesn't automatically start like some kind of weird porn thing or something. I don't know.
Oh, it is a porn thing. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, dang.
But this is a band I found from this channel.
It's funny. I said porn too. That's hilarious. It's psychedelic porn crumpets, Salsa Verde.
Yeah. The song was released 9 days ago or something like that.
Great.
I've been listening to it nonstop, and I really like this band. And I found this band from these chat members. It's not a very good ending song. Whatever.
It doesn't matter. Not all happy endings have to go the same way. All right, guys, let's do this. This is an encore performance from Turnip's playlist. This is the psychedelic porn. Fuck it. Psychedelic porn crumpets, Salsa Verde, just released a few days ago. Closing out Turnip's playlist Redeem. Let's go. crank. Boom. Great riffage going on there. I love that up rhythm. Wow. What a banging track, Jesus. Nice little tip of the hat there. What a trippy lead town. I love the oversaturation on the complete mix. Except for the drums. The drums are clean. I don't know why I was getting a Deftones kind of vibe out of this. I don't, if I was... for some reason, I was pulling Chino, the vocals, the whole thing, and that kind of discursive sound. But yeah, it was a heavy, oversaturated sound for the mix, completely fried. But the drums were clean, so that means it wasn't a post-mastering saturation distortion. So I love when bands do that. They fry the shit out of them, and then you have to find the clean in there. So for me, I always lean into the drum kit to see, God, are they doing this on the master?
The drums are clean, yeah.
Yeah, if they're doing it on the master.
Very King Gizzard, I thought, not just because they're both Aussie, but feel like they had a lot in common. I'm thinking a little bit like early Arctic Monkeys. That might be weird, but that's what I was thinking as well. Not very Beatles, even though they had that tip of the hat that you mentioned, right?
Yeah, somebody, I don't know who mentioned the tip of the hat one. I think it was Kazi, I'm not sure. No, I'm sorry. I did say a tip of the hat, but I'm just saying, forgive me. Yes, it was just that little section there. Yeah, it looked like it was a call to.
Lyrics.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, we had his encore, guys. He came in with his encore. We have conquered all the redeems that are
the encore.
Conquered the encore, and we have conquered all the redeems dangling out there for the minute, because I know there's more probably coming around the corner. But I'm going to bounce. We're going to bounce. You stay with me for a second afterwards, Turnip. But I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out. Like I said, we're at the end of our Redeem Clutch Grip, sessions. Everybody's kind of cashed in for right now. So I'm going to be starting next week. We're going to catch up on the donos. We're going to get back to some Wheel of Cheese and stuff and have fun. But I do love, I've said this at the end of every single one of these Redeem sessions, getting to be able to talk to, my Cado friends here. Yeah. That's always really super important, and get to, personalize it a little more than us typing back and forth and everybody's throwing me the old man.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody, I'm going to cut off the stream. Turnip, say aloha to everybody. Say goodbye, and then after that, we're going to dip out, but you hang out with me, okay?
Aloha. Hui ho, or whatever you say. See you soon. I don't know.
That was great. I love
you.
that, especially with the accent. That was just perfect. All right, guys, we're going to end the stream. You guys take care of yourself. Keep an eye out on your Discord or on the Discord or from the notifications so when I come back, okay? So I'll see you all later. Turnip, stay with me.